Hello, everybody. This is Dana Geiger, and thank you for joining us today. We're going to get started, and forgive me if I'm having some technical difficulties here. Truth be told, this is my first time hosting a webinar myself, so I'm going to try not to screw up the technology and see if I can deliver this in a succinct way. I've set aside an hour today, but I don't think that will take nearly that time. So I'm going to go ahead. If you haven't already muted your own microphone, I'm going to mute you on my end just to be sure we don't have any feedback. And I also have a chat window open, so if you have any questions as we go through this, please put it in there and I will respond, and then we can address all those questions at the end of the presentation. All right, so one more second and I'll be ready to go.
Hey Dana, it's Jeannie.
Hi Jeannie. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody so that we're set to go, and then I'll finally get started. So the topic of today's webinar is obviously maximizing your membership. I feel that association memberships are very similar to gym memberships. You can have it, but unless you use it, they do you no good. So those of you who are on the call today are either current members of VAPA and you come to our shows, but probably don't know all of the resources available to you, or you are prospective members of VAPA, maybe someone that's been to our events but hasn't quite seen the value of membership and not yet pulled the trigger, so to speak. So before I get into this, all of it, you see a picture of two people holding baseball bats, and those of you that know me know that I'm not necessarily a sporty person, and I don't very much care for sports analogies, but I want to share a little story with you that I think is kind of the point of all of this. So growing up, I grew up around baseball, and I did that because both the gentlemen in this picture are my uncles, and they both coach baseball. So we would go to a lot of games, and I would always sit next to my grandpa, and I was far more interested in the things he would have to say because he was quite comical. He would like to yell at the umpires, "Use the good eye, Blue," and actually both of my uncles have been thrown out of their own games because of him. But what he would also yell is he'd yell to every batter, and he'd yell, "Just meet it, it will go." And he would say it every time with such conviction that I really thought every batter was going to hit it out of the park. So I feel that membership is very similar to that. We can provide a million resources, but unless our members actually are aware of them, which is often not the case, or they aren't easy to use, which is another challenge we face, then it isn't going out of the park. So that's our goal today is to kind of go through all of the things that we've provided to our members at VAPA and tell you how to use them if you're not already engaged in them. So those of you that are on the call, like I said, you're either members, now what, or membership, not so sure I need it. So I'm going to start with the things that maybe some of you didn't know. VAPA was created in 1986 by a group of professionals like yourself, local individuals that decided they needed a network to connect with, people that face similar challenges. And so Alice Clark, who's in Richmond, I think she's retired, her son now runs her business. She and a group of other individuals came together and they formed VAPA. It was a volunteer-run association until I think about 12 years ago when they hired their first staff person. So it's currently membered by a board of directors, which are all volunteers. We have a couple of them on the call here. Jeannie is one. And myself, and I'm a part-time manager. So our mission, as it's listed here and is on our website, is really in the best interest of our members to advance the image of promotional products in Virginia. So there we go. What you may know, what I think people know is that we're in Virginia. They may know the cost of their membership. It's about $100 for distributor membership, supplier memberships a little bit more, and we do trade shows. those are really the things that the majority know about VAPA. But there's a lot more to us than that. So I call these fun facts. Some of you may not think they're so fun. VAPA is a regional affiliate of PPAI. One of the misnomers is that the regional associations and PPAI are the same thing. So many people will call me and say, well, I'm a member of PPAI. Do I need to be a member of VAPA? The answer is no, you don't have to be. VAPA and PPAI work together as a partnership, but we are separate, but we're equally motivated to serve individuals, and we are both nonprofit organizations. So we align on a lot of planes. So what does that mean for us here in the regional? So VAPA is one of 27 regional associations that are part of the affiliate program with PPAI, and PPAI partners with us, provides us with education, provides us with tools and initiatives that we partner on throughout the year. And many of you are probably familiar with Promotional Products Work Week, LEAD, and a multitude of others that we collaborate on. Amongst those 27 regionals, they've complicated it further, but actually it makes it simpler. They've broken us into 5 districts. So we are VAPA, part of District 1, which is the Northeast Quadrant. And that's why we participate so heavily in things like Expo East, and we do a webinar monthly with these 5 associations. What it also means is that we have a reciprocity with most of the associations, if not all. And that means if you're in Maryland and they're having an event and you want to attend, more often than not, unless it's an end buyer event or something that has a cost associated, they'll welcome you with open arms because you're a member of a neighboring regional. So if you find yourself traveling, if you have clients throughout the country, if there's a regional event, especially those that involve your buyers, it might be something that you could look into participating in. So why it's important is because as a nonprofit trade association with 1 part-time manager and a group of 10 volunteer leaders, we can't put out some of the tools that PPAI can. So they are very gracious. They partner with us. They help us negotiate deals with other partners, and you see a lot of probably materials coming out about why the regionals work together, why PPAI and the regional association makes sense for your business. So that's my pitch on the industry as a whole. So how do we do this? How do we connect our members? How do we provide them tools? We do it through a number of things, mostly centered around our events. That is primarily because the geography of our region is so vast. So in today's age, where technology is so much a part of our day, the climate has changed. There used to be a time where Rotary and a lot of other associations would have much more in-person events. So our goal as a region is to, in addition to our events, bring you tools that you can access from anywhere. I think we've done a fair job, and we can always do a better job developing those. So networking, which typically comes in conjunction with our events, education as well, online tools, and then, of course, additional features and membership. So finally, the question people really want to know, why should I belong to VAPA? So I say there's 2 segments. There's two ways to define membership and why it makes sense. There's the benefit of membership. Why do I belong? I belong to VAPA because it saves me time and money. Well, how does VAPA do that? So those answers would be what I call the features of membership. So we start with the benefits of VAPA. And it's also important to note that every distributor, every supplier company is different. So what one company is looking from a partnership to gain may be very different for another. The first benefit, people join VAPA to save time and money. If you don't save time or money, if you don't need more of either one of those, I'd like to find out what you do and do it myself. But benefit number 2, to make a positive impact on the industry. VAPA is a nonprofit trade association. Our mission is to help the climate of the industry, to raise awareness about promotional products as an advertising medium. And at the end of the day, all of that will translate to the bottom line of our members. Benefit number 3 is to solidify a professional reputation. We are designed for, well, let me take that back. We have a lot of value to people that are coming into the industry with a fairly new business. And when you do that, there's certainly a lot of education that's needed, and aligning with an association like NAPA or any other regionals can help you kind of create a footprint in the marketplace. So, so those are the three largest reasons that I see people aligning with us. So once we have our members, our features, the things that we offer to them, of course, number 1, our trade shows. Our trade shows are by far our headlining events. We do 2 a year. I think many of you, if not all of you, attend these. Our shows in Virginia are end buyer events, and we believe strongly that with the development of the internet, the fourth wall has broken down, and clients are perusing the internet. So we think that our shows are a great way to bring your clients into a showroom that many of you may not have in your offices, and show them things that you wouldn't think to show them. So I've heard success story after success story about how many people bringing clients to our show that never would have thought to look at a sock or whatever it was that they ended up buying 10,000 pieces of. So point is what you've seen may be new to them, and the VAPA shows are really they're great client appreciation mechanism. They're also just a great way to increase your sales. So we do 2 of these a year. Members can bring their clients. Non-members cannot bring their clients. For those of you, they're free to our members, and we charge non-members to attend these. So certainly that is probably the one we're all the most familiar with. Feature number 2 is the regional coupon book. This regional benefit or feature was developed about 2.5 years ago. It's been refined quite a bit, and I could probably bet that it will be refined even further. This is provided to all of our members when they renew, and it is also on our website at the members only section here if you ever lose the link or didn't bookmark it when it was sent to you. The graphic tells you that it has over $6,000 of savings included, and that's true. If you use every single coupon in there, you will save that amount of money, and that's not likely. But perhaps I feel like this is the most overlooked feature because, and I would probably think this too, many of our members are part of buying groups, Facilis, larger distributors that have really great deals negotiated with our supplier partners. And I had a conversation with one of these individuals, and I said, look, just humor me. Can you just look through this and tell me if you would have saved? Because I wanted to know if it was a fair argument or if I had a leg to stand on. I'm not a distributor. I've never sold products, so I don't know. And this person was good enough to give it the all-American try. He went through the book and determined that if he had used the coupons in a 4-month period of time, he would have saved $1,200 without tailoring his orders to fit the coupons that were available. To me, that's the best testimony I could have gotten. That's 12 times your membership, and I feel like people, if they're not utilizing this tool, they should be. And actually, I would guarantee, and I have guaranteed members, if you don't save what you paid for membership, I will reimburse you. So this book gets renewed every January, and so the coupons will be fresh. So if you haven't utilized this, please do. If you need help accessing it, please email me, and I can walk you through it after the webinar or whenever is convenient for you. Feature number 3, Sage Savings. We are also a partner of Sage. For those of you that use Sage, it's similar to ESP. I have not used it from a distributor's perspective. I hear pros and cons on both sides. But above and beyond their search mechanism, they also have a battery of products that you can access from payment processors. They have a free website, but of course you can always elaborate on that and get additional products or help or service, and you save 10% on any of your Sage products as a VAPA member. Now, PPAI also gives members savings through Sage, and the question I often get is, I save 10% through PPAI. Does that mean I don't save 10% through VAPA? The answer is no. If you're a member of both, you save 20%. So if you're using Sage, I encourage you to check out your statement if you're a member and make sure you're getting that. And if not, you need to bring it to my attention, because I provide a list and rely on them to do the auditing. So, feature number 4, our online directory. We have a membership directory online. We have a couple different segments of it. We have our distributor directory. Believe it or not, I get calls from people, from buyers in the marketplace, asking me for distributors' names and numbers. I refer them to our directory. I do not refer specifically to any one distributor, but our directory is a great resource for them. For instance, if they're in Richmond and they're looking for a local distributor, they can just type in Richmond and see the distributor names. What I tell them is that all of our members are reputable professionals that will service them with the utmost competency. So in our directory, you have a listing if you're a member. And in that listing, it basically says anything you want it to say within reason. You have the ability to log in, add your logo, add a description of your business. You can mention if you're a woman-owned business or a minority-owned business. And as you know, a lot of companies look for those criteria. So that's a resource. It's also a resource for our suppliers and our distributors, because you can find contact information for somebody who you may have met but need to get a hold of. Feature number 5 is a fairly new feature. It's a Pantone program. At our show, we unveiled this spring. We had a show special. As you know, color is tricky, and many of us have Pantone books. I think probably a lot of them are pretty old. So the Pantone program is designed to help you replace your products or buy new products at a discounted rate. This is available on our website as well. It says save up to 20%, but I'll tell you, if you could hold out to the show, we have a show special, and it's a 33% savings. So know that that is available to you as well. FedEx discounts. This is based on how much you ship and how often you ship, but if you're not enrolled in some kind of shipping program, which PPAI offers this as well. So if you have this through PPAI, I will tell you this is the same. You don't need to do it twice. But it is available to those that may not be PPAI members and not have a partnership. Additional resources that we have are ways to connect you with the rest of the industry. We, of course, have a Facebook page and a Twitter account. We have a bi-weekly newsletter. If you're not receiving that, I'd love to know. And that provides you with articles that we feel are relevant to the business that you may be doing. Our website has a login feature. And for those of you that have never utilized it, I encourage you to do so. That's where you would be able to create your online profile, get into the member-only portal, which is where the coupon book is housed, and things of that nature. So, of course, in addition, you can find industry articles and calendar of events and things of that nature. We do a monthly webinar with our District 1 partners, so those you should be receiving notifications about. And then, of course, the rest of the regional community, the other 27 or the other 26 associations. We find that if you're an active member of one regional, you start developing relationships with people in other regionals, and knowledge is power. If you're having a challenge, chances are someone has already had the challenge before you. And the reason I love this industry more than any other industry I've worked in is I find the people to be the kindest and the most willing to help their competitors. So if you're not connected with the community of distributors or suppliers, there's a huge online presence of industry people, and I encourage you to make those connections and reach out, because again, chances are, if you're looking for some answers, someone's already asked the question. Advocacy I have listed as one of the later slides, but looking at it now, I realize it probably should have been maybe one of the first slides, because I believe it's probably one of the most important things we do. VAPA is proud to partner with PPAI every year with LEAD, which is the Leadership Education and Action Day, which takes place in Washington in April and May. Typically, we send 2 volunteers, and it's open to anybody who wants to participate. You just have to apply through PPAI. We send 2 volunteers to go to Washington and literally lobby about the effectiveness of promotional products and to build relationships. And so why do we do this? The perfect example is the legislation that came out years ago with pharma. Now, I'm not saying not all of that was founded, but it definitely impacted the way we do business. And there's been a number of times where legislation's been introduced that would really have a profound effect on our industry. So our goal with building a presence in Washington is to make them aware of products as an effective form of advertising, and not just trinkets and trash, which we've always heard, but also to build relationships so that when a piece of legislation is introduced, we have a contact that we can call and say, hey, this would have a dramatic impact on our industry, which, as you know, is a $18 billion industry. So I believe very strongly in our advocacy efforts. We've had wonderful volunteers attend Washington. I've gone a couple of times, and it's a really exciting thing to do. So if you're at all inclined, I encourage you to consider that, and it is open to everybody. And you don't have to be a member of VAPA to attend. PPAI selects people from different regions so that we're represented across the country. So kind of reiterating what I had mentioned earlier, membership's not one size fits all. We have every kind of member, from large distributors, small distributors, large suppliers, smaller suppliers, business service members. You get in what you're looking. You get out of it what you put into it. So what appeals to one company may not even be on the radar of another. So hopefully our goal as a association is to provide a well-rounded portfolio of features and benefits, and hope that our members should take advantage of that. So with that, before we get into questions and answers, which I hope we have a few, I wanted to show you the screenshot of where you log in if you've not done it before. Our website is www.vapa.biz. If you've never been to it, I ask you to navigate to it, and you'll see the login box here. You use your email, and if you've never logged in, you don't have a password. You simply hit the forgot password link, and you'll be emailed and prompted to create a password that you will be able to, and it will store it, so you only have to log in once. Once you log in the first time, it's pretty easy to do. So with that, I will open it up to questions, answers, be as vague or specific as you like, and we'll go from there. Or not. Is there any information that you've received today that is new, or does anyone have anything they want to build upon that maybe I've missed in this presentation? All right.
Dana, just a comment. I thought the presentation was most helpful, and there were several things in there that I was not aware of or had glossed over that can save my business quite a bit of money.
Great.
Yep.
Thank you, Jeannie.
And I have a new employee, and this is educational for both of us. So thank
Great.
you, thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, this has been recorded, and I will provide a link to it if anyone wants it, if they feel like they have a colleague that would benefit from listening to it. Great. If you have comments, feedback, or any other questions, or if you want to talk offline about anything specific, please, I welcome the calls, and I really appreciate all of you taking the time out of your day to be listening.
Thank you, Dana, very much.
All right, great. Everyone have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.